Hello everyone, here comes the sixth part of a series of videos about using TerraWorld to create a highly detailed environment for use in military simulators. In this section, we discuss how to add grass to the scene. As you can see in the previous video, we added more visual effects to the environment by adding trees to the terrain surface. In the following, we will learn how to filter and extract data from land cover satellite images to add grass cover to the environment. This part, like the previous part, has been made with the updated version of TerraWorld, and this version will be available to you soon. To get started, go to the Colors tab, and by creating a color filter, we can extract the intended color from the satellite image of the area so that we can apply the favorable parameters using the analysis provided by TerraWorld software. Here, I select the khaki color as an example and attribute it to the satellite image at the input. Then, go to the Biomes tab and in the Add Mask section, create a meadow biome filter and leave the rest by default. The purpose is to filter the data received from the land cover satellite image. Repeat this and select Grass Biome Filter. This provides a more accurate filter of area land cover. To mix this data, I need a new area mixer, which I select from the Add Mask section. In the settings, set the blending mode option to OR. This allows the data of the biome filters to be merged. Select a new biome filter from the Add Mask list again, and this time select the wetland type and set the rest as default. The aim is to reanalyze and obtain more data from the land cover satellite image of the area. In order to integrate the previous two biome filters with a new biome filter, a new area mixer will be needed. Like the previous area mixer, we set the blending mode OR, and this time we combine the new biome filter with the previous area mixer. Now to subtract the data received from the new biome filters with color filter that we created at the beginning of this video, we will still need a new area mixer with sub mode. Here's how to connect these items. To filter grass layers from water surfaces in the area, we need to create a new type of biome filter for waters. Now we can use a new area mixer with submode to separate the previous data. This prevents the formation of grass layers under the water surface. In order to complete all these processes and also attribute them to the filter slope that we intend to put our layers on, we will still need to create a new area mixer. We set the blending mode to OR. Because we combined all the data we have attributed so far with a desired range of slopes. In the input section, I attribute the latest area mixer to slope filter 2. Slope filter 2 covers the range between 15 and 45 degrees, and that's what I want. Here we have completed the segmentation and filtering of data from land cover satellite image for our intended purpose, and it is time to add the first grass scatter to the filtered range. So in the Biomes tab and under the Add Scatter submenu, select the grass scatter option. To start, in the model settings section it is necessary to add material. Those who have installed the TerraWorld project will already have several samples of grass-related materials in their project in the Grass and Flower folder under Art Content by default. By accessing this folder, we attach the type of material we want to this section. Leave the rest as default, and at the end, we attach the last area mixer that we created to this section. By pressing the Generate button, we apply to our graph all the things we have done so far in this video. As you can see, the first layer of grass appeared on the terrain surface. The result is based on the filters applied in the intended area and extracted from the land cover satellite image. Now to access the new layer we have created in the scene, go to the Hierarchy section and select the created layer under the TerraWorld subcategory by clicking on it. To access all the parameters of this layer, go to the Inspector section. Note that all the changes we make are applied in real time, and you can see the result by pressing the Force Update button. For example, I changed the type of grass model from quad to mesh. Of course, this affects the performance of the scene, and it is preferable to use this option when necessary. To get the right size for this layer of grass, we can use a game object that has human dimensions, then we change the rest of the parameters until we reach the favorite size. To have a dense grass layer, you can easily achieve the favorable result by changing the parameters related to rendering distance and density. Save the items we changed in the Hierarchy section to Scatter node. Otherwise, pressing the generate button will change all these parameters to the default. To save all these steps, go to the Area tab, and in the Graph section, select the Save option to save it on your computer. To make it more natural, I will add another layer of grass to my graph. So I add a new grass scatter next to the previous layer. All steps are the same as the previous layer. Only in the input section, we attach the area mixer that we attributed to the first layer to this layer. Click on the Generate button to display the result. I change the added new layer until it reaches the favorite appearance. Then, as in the previous case, after saving the changes in the scatter node of this layer, we save the graph again and move on to the next items. For this part, I plan to add a new layer of grass around my lake. So I create a new area mixer with ore blending mode. The goal is to combine the two nodes that we created in the previous videos for the sides of river and lake in the graph. It is enough to attach these two biome filters in the input section to achieve the favorable combination. Now we continue with the addition of a new grass scatter. The procedure is the same as the previous nodes. A new layer was added to the sides of the lake. We changed the parameters until we achieved the favorable result. Because in TerraWorld, the material is used to model grasses, you can easily make any changes to your grass materials. At this stage, there is no need to save changes in the graph. Save all changes to scatter node and graph again. For the final step and a better understanding of the process, I decided to add my last layer of grass to another angle of the terrain surface. To do this, I create a new area mixer of the subtype to subtract slope filter 1 from the water's biome filter. Slope filter 1 covers angles between 0 and 15 degrees, so it will cover a very wide area. The result of this combination simultaneously affects the performance of the scene and does not create a new layer of grass under the surface of the water. I created a new grass cutter, and this time I choose a different material for this section. Note that this fern model is available in the art content folder. Be sure to attribute the model's own mesh to this material. For higher performance, use the lowest poly mesh in this section. In addition, since this filter slope covers a large area of the terrain surface, we change the default parameters of this layer to the lowest level available. Because the process of creating this layer on the computers of some users may take time or even impossible. Press the Generate button to continue. If the created layer is not visible, it is enough to change its scale a little and see the result by pressing the Force Update button. Make the favorable changes and be sure to save it in the graph. Finally, it's time for the interesting part of this video. You can select the layers created in the TerraWorld subcategory and refer to the Inspector section. Now by pressing the Edit Placement option, you will achieve special items that are very vital and useful in the level design discussion. This software allows you to not only paint or erase a specific layer, but also change the density of that layer at the terrain layers level. For example, I changed the density of my first layer of grass in one of the terrain layers. The result is quite obvious. Another feature that the software provides you is the Edit World option. By clicking on this option, all the layers created in the graph can be viewed and changed. You can paint or even delete one layer by isolating it, or paint or delete them together by selecting multiple layers. The important point in filtering placement is that unlike the previous case which affected only one layer, in this part, simultaneous changes affect all layers, and it is not possible to separate the layers. Note that changes made in this way can only be saved in the scene and cannot be saved in graph. I hope this part was useful and informative. Stay tuned for our next videos.